Dear readers of Project Cargo Weekly, it is Thursday, the 15th of December, 2022, and I am now today, this time for the first time, making an editorial video recording instead of writing the editorial to you. And the reason is very simple. I was in the port of Härnösand in north of Sweden 3 days ago, taking pictures of a Geopolitical vessel coming in to load a paper factory to China. And due to slippery conditions and treacherous slippery ice below the snow, I fell and broke my wrist. And here is the proof. So I'm a so-called one-arm bandit, a little bit difficult to write with only my left hand. And that's why I'm doing my last editorial of the year by video to all of you. Yeah, it's when things like this happen, you certainly find out how breakable you are. Still, on the balance of things, I am not so unlucky as many other people around the world, including our friends in the Ukraine who face death every day. So yes, it's been a fantastic year for Project Cargo Weekly. We've had issues every week, as you know, and also for me, it's been a fantastic year. One of the highlights of my traveling year has been, as you can see, the picture behind me is from the Lord Howe Island, which is 2 hours northeast of Sydney, a very small island located in the Tasman Sea. I always wanted to go there for whatever reason. And I got there and was planning to stay for 2 days, but due to weather, the Qantas flight couldn't arrive or depart, so I ended up having a week in paradise, which was certainly not cheap, but it was worth every penny. So as you can see, this picture I took myself, not a person in sight. Yeah, please do that whenever you have a chance in life. Do whatever you would like to do, because you never know what's around the corner. It's been, in other ways, a very good year for Project Cargo Weekly. We have continued during the year to publish every week, with about 40,000 receivers worldwide. We have quite a lot of attention of the newsletter, and it seems no problem these days to get both video and written interviews. I hope also that you have enjoyed receiving it. There will be some changes in the new year 2023, simply because of workload. This is more or less a one-man band, this newsletter. And in order to do proper research and also shall we say, have a balance in the family life and the networks which I'm chairing, I will turn to publishing every fortnight, so every bi-weekly from 2023. That means the first issue will be on January the 12th, and then it'll be January 26th. But I think you will not see such a huge difference. There will be more time to research and interview and do better quality. And at least I won't clog your inbox every week, only every 2 weeks. So hope you will still continue to follow it. The year in shipping has been extraordinary. I mean, the ship owners have been awash in cash from earning a lot from the pandemic. So people's misfortune has certainly led to other people's fortune. But now it seems that the correction is coming and the rates are tumbling again down to more reasonable levels. We've also seen an increase in the ship owners trying to go ashore. They want to buy planes, they want to be logistics providers, they want to be the jack of all trades. They tried before and with very, let's say, sloppy results, but let's see if they can make it this time. At least they have the money to see their mistakes through and to finance it. But that makes me sometimes wonder, are they shipping or are they banks? Because if you can just keep on and on because you have enough money, well, that's not always a proof of capability. But the proof is in the pudding, and things change, and so must freight forwarders. They must also change. So let's see where we end up. Key point is, of course, as usual, keep very close to your customers, no matter you are a freight forwarder, shipping line, or whatever. If you have the customer at your hand, then of course you have the power, and that remains so, I should say. On the political front, not much to say, except that, as you know, the war in Ukraine is still ongoing in the midst of Europe. It does seem a little bit strange that we are going about our business in the rest of Europe, whilst the war is raging with missile attacks daily on the people of Ukraine. And after this interview, you will see an interview I had just yesterday with the Formac Group in the Ukraine, a forwarding company based in Odessa. And during the interview, he was actually under missile attack, and the electricity came and went. And some people are certainly unlucky and also pay the highest price imaginable for being where they are, simply because of some people's ego for power. But we have seen that before, and let's hope that reasonable solutions will be found and that the war can cease as soon as possible for everybody, including the world economy, actually, to be involved. Unfortunately, countries with vast resources, natural resources, means that they don't really have to, let's say, listen to anyone. They can be as dictatorial as they want. Money talks, the rest is conversation, as we say. And perhaps one day when we open some of the banks based in Switzerland, Seychelles, Mauritius, Jersey, or wherever, we will find out how much money has really been siphoned away from normal people in these, let's say, egocentric countries. But politics is one thing. It's endless. Also here in Sweden, where I live, we have politics. We have a new government here. After 8 years of social democrats, we are now having, let's say, a right-wing government. And of course, the left-wing media, since most, if not all, journalists are educated in the same tunnel vision, so to speak, are complaining highly that we are having new rules in place for crime and whatnot. Sweden, where I live, is the #1 country regarding shootings in Europe. Quite incredible for a place which has a high social welfare. Nobody is suffering any hunger, and no excuse for being, let's say, not contributing to society. But if you're too weak and not able to take hard decision in order to be politically correct, then this is what happens. Let's see what happens in this country. Still, Scandinavia on balance is a good place to live. And I've now been here 10 years after I moved here from China. And I suppose even haven't looked at other places to reside, uprooting oneself with kids and school and whatnot. Things can happen anywhere. So better make the best of it where you are located. In the future, in Project Cargo Weekly, as I mentioned, every 2 weeks we will publish. We will allow still only 4 banner ads. So if you have an idea to place a banner ad, do contact me. They are reasonably priced. It can link to a video. It can link to your company website. I think the average price is around 350 to 400 euros for one banner ad. So it is really not an enormous investment, and it will be seen since we are not an IKEA catalog. We do only allow 4. Right now, I'm quite busy preparing the Project Cargo Weekly yearbook, which will be published on my 60th birthday on the 16th of February next year. Fancy that, the old man has become 60 years old. So at least 60 years is less than the kilos. So I'm very happy to say that I hope that you will find the Project Cargo Weekly yearbook interesting. We have allowed only 15 advertising listings to be placed, and they have all been sold in a whim. So for that, I thank all our supporters in the Project Cargo Weekly yearbook. So with those words, and a reminder to you to, of course, read today's newsletter. First and foremost, the interview with Formac Group in the Ukraine. After that, we have 3 other interviews. We start off with Australian National Line, part of the CMA CGM group based in Australia. They were bought by CMA some 25 years ago and run services to and from Australia and New Zealand and the Pacific Islands, including PNG and Solomon Islands, places where you don't always, shall we say, visit or have cargo to. Then we have an interview with BLS in Mozambique, a project freight forwarder based in Maputo, and they can also do inland transport via Mozambique ports to the interior of Africa. And finally, we speak to DEUFOL, DEUFOL, And DEU, as you know, is the abbreviation almost for Deutschland. It's a German-owned company. They do seaworthy packing worldwide and have many stations around the world. We speak to the head of the Antwerp operation and Benelux. He is quite capable, and they are quite capable. I've seen their facilities in Antwerp during the Antwerp Excel Expo that I attended. And yes, it was quite amazing to see how seaworthy packing can be done and should be done. They really know their stuff. So see the interviews, see the shipping news, trade intel, wise words, and at the end you will also see as the featured video of this week. You will see the video from the ship where I kind of fell on the ice and broke my wrist. Whilst I was taking pictures as the ship was coming alongside. Luckily, I was able to stagger up, go to the gate, and then the pilot, who after his job getting the ship alongside, he took me to the nearest emergency room, which was 45 kilometers away. As you know, in many places in Scandinavia nowadays, if you get sick or have an accident, don't get it done in the weekend. Only the bigger cities have alive emergency rooms. So that's one of the drawbacks of our fantastic system. It's always the best when you are not sick, as they say. So anyway, I'm patched up, and hopefully in 4 weeks, I'm ready to roll again. For now, I can't help the wife in the kitchen, so poor me. And of course, she's also very angry that I cannot support her there, but I didn't do it before anyhow, so maybe it's still c'est la vie. But wish you all the best, all the season's greetings. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy New Year if you celebrate that, if you don't wait until the Chinese New Year. And I hope that all that you wish for will come through in the year of 2023. And of course, continue to read and follow Project Cargo Weekly. Don't forget to download the app. It's free on both Android and Apple. And you can see both our video interviews and written interviews. It's updated every time we publish. So if you're bored, listen to podcast on it. And if you have any ideas, if you want to be interviewed, if you have ideas for something I should report on or investigate or interview in shipping, do send me an email. I am not a difficult person to reach. So let me know if I can be of assistance. Happy 2023 and all the best to all of you. Thank you very much.